here. I just wanted to let you know that we are one-stop shop. You may be saying, who are we? Say How You Feel Custom T-shirts, Just You Soap Company, J2415 Photography, Deliciousness on the Move, and Expressive Boutique Plus Size Clothing. If you are ever in need of natural body products, Just You Soap Company, visit us at justyousoapcompany.com. If you're ever in need of custom t-shirts, feel free to reach out by text to 615-779-2890, and we will definitely get you a quote. If you're ever in need of catering services, you can also reach out by text to 615-779-2890, or photography, the same number. Reach out by text to 615-779-2890. You can also inbox us or email us at the email addresses, provided in the description. As always, be blessed, be in peace, and remember to say how you feel.
Hey, how y'all doing? So this is Will from Let It Make Sense, and this is our first episode. And today we're going to be talking about, what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to be talking about Bishop, and I guess it's Lamore Whitehead, or as someone called him, the Bling Bishop.
Well, this is a bishop that's been in the news for a couple of weeks. Once you might have saw him get robbed in church, and then the next time, recently, what made us decide to do this, he snatched up somebody in his church. I don't know how right that was or how much of a good idea that was, but yeah, he snatched somebody up and threw him out of church. He and the young lady got arrested. Well, they got detained. She got arrested. He got sent home or whatever. Yeah. We're going to find that out. So let's talk about it.
Okay, so if you have been following social media or seen it, he is a bishop in New York, and I'll just read you really quick this little blurb from the local Wikipedia. It says, Lamore Miller Whitehead is a religious and community leader in Brooklyn, New York. Whitehead, a convicted felon, is known for his close relationship with New York City Mayor Eric Adams and his ostentatious displays of wealth. So, the first thing that we saw about him was when he got robbed in his church. So there's this thing about, did he really get robbed? Did he set it up for some reason? If you watch the video, and I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't know if this was really a robbery. And if it was, I pray those people, don't have PTSD or are suffering any after effects of that. But if you listen to what he was saying in his message before the robbers came in, he was talking about a testing of faith. So I don't know.
I didn't pay attention to him that much.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was like their cue to come in, because the guy that's on that looks like he's a musician just sitting there looking. I don't know, right? I don't know, but it happened. Okay, so that was the first thing that we saw.
It is a thing.
It is right. So then the next thing was him showing off his closet. The designer label, the clothes, and all this stuff is all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then now recently, there's a woman who went to his church, and supposedly she went, and again, I'm not saying she didn't, sincerely go to just do research, but she says that she went to the church because she's doing research on the Black church. So she went to this particular church. Someone, I guess it goes to the church, invited her there to assist her with her research, to come and, see service or whatnot.
Was she invited? Or
she said when we saw the other video, she said that the person invited her to come there because they knew she was doing research or whatever. I believe that's what she said. They either invited her or she knew that the person goes to the church and said, whatever happened, she knew somebody that went to church. So she went there. She says that she basically, caught the Holy Spirit while she was there. And she began to speak in tongues. And while she was doing that, she says that the what is he, a bishop?
Bishop, yeah.
Okay.
Bishop Whitehead.
He called her up to the front, and in the video you see her come up front, and she's saying something. I don't, she's saying that I guess she was still speaking in tongues when she went up front. She walked past him, and he politely, put his hands on her, and then told them to get out of there. So, they were arrested. Well, she was arrested. He was detained, and she was actually arrested. And they arrested her and charged her with trespassing and disturbing a religious service. Yeah. So she's fighting that. Like, she actually has a case. He doesn't, even though you can see that he.
But he doesn't have a charge to even have a case.
That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a case. They let him go, even though it looks like he assaulted her. So our thing of let it make sense is twofold. For me, it's twofold. I don't know about for you.
Okay.
But for me, it's twofold. One, I don't know what possessed him to think that it was okay for him to manhandle her like that, right?
Well, he said in his defense, he did say, after the robbery happened, he's dealing with PTSD, and he saw him go towards his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So that prompted him to go and play Captain Hero.
Okay, so he thought that he was saving his wife.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that was that. Before she came up to the front, he was saying, take your pictures. They want to put it on social media. Da 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 da. Okay, so then you can hear her though, right? You can audibly hear her.
Yeah. And
I thought that she was talking about him in regards to, the Bishop Bling thing, all the stuff that's happened. I really did. I'm going to be honest. And she said that she was speaking in tongues. You couldn't understand what she was saying, but you did notice that as he continued to say, take your pictures, she got
closer,
louder.
Yeah.
And she said that he told her to come down.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that in the video, so I would have to rewatch it, right? Maybe we can insert a clip of it here, possibly. Yeah. To see him actually motion to her to come down, because I didn't see it. I didn't. But she did come down, and she continued to say whatever she was saying. And again, she said that she was speaking in tongues. I didn't notice that. I'm not saying she wasn't. I just didn't notice it. And then she walked up, because it looked like she was arguing with him, actually. So,
you see her, and she's doing something, and she's not really looking at him.
No, she's not.
She just...
So, again, she probably... And I'm not saying that she wasn't speaking in tongues. I'm not saying that the Holy Spirit had not come over her. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying this is what happened, and then she walked past him, he did what he did. So, my question, I guess, is, one, okay, I said, he should have put his hands on her. But if I was doing research on this particular person, I'm not saying that what she did was wrong. I'm not blaming her at all. But I wouldn't have went to church.
That's it.
I wouldn't have gone.
So the question begs, did you go to the church for research or to be messy?
So
and it backfired.
I don't know.
That's the question you gotta ask yourself. Did you go to be messy, or did you go to be back to really do research on a black church? Both being, and we'll be transparent right now. We're both ministers. We both believe in God. We're both in the church. The other question we have to ask is he being too boisterous? What is it with him? Or what's for lack of better words, as men and women of God, should we be that flamboyant, for lack of better words, or that because he shows his he flosses his wealth, he flosses his money, cars, and all the things that. Now here's the thing: on that same, if you flip that coin, rappers do it all the time. Circular people. I would say that circular people do it all the time. Because and when I say circular, I mean secular. She got to use the proper word.
Secular. SECULAR. Secular.
Other people, yeah. Here's the thing: I include the rappers, the drug dealers, everybody who got money, ill-gotten money, and all that.
The rappers.
Yeah.
The rappers don't have. We're not gonna say the rappers got money.
Okay. Well, whoever got money, that's what I'm saying. That
If God bless you with it, you don't have to flaunt it.
Yeah,
That's the end of it. It don't matter who you are. Actually, it doesn't matter whether whether you the preacher at the church, or the rapper, or the basketball player, or the football player. Just because you got it doesn't mean you have to flaunt it. If you choose to flaunt it, then there are consequences that come along with that, right?
Yeah.
So the people that have gotten robbed because they have the stuff, then they go somewhere they probably shouldn't have went, and they got robbed. Some of them have gotten robbed and killed. Unfortunately, there are people out there who will give you what, I hate to say it like this, but give you what you're asking for.
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that. But if you have it, you don't have to flaunt it.
But here's a question. We talk about preachers and church folk when they do flaunt it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say nothing about anybody else when they flaunt it. The question is, who said I have to have faith and be broke?
Let me say this again. There's a difference between you just having it and you flaunting it. Mr. Bishop didn't have to go on TV, whatever he did, whether it was Facebook Live or show, whatever it was, and show people his closet and the Rolls Royces and all that. Because one of the things the news shows that we watched that's on YouTube said that his church is in New York, but his church is in a poor neighborhood.
Okay,
so he is pastoring to impoverished or poor people. I guess if however you want to say, I won't say impoverished, but they for whatever reason they're socioeconomically on a lower level than he is. So these are the people that he's shepherding.
Okay, so
now we know, right, that doesn't necessarily mean the people that you shepherd are going to be necessarily on the level that you're on, because he may be doing other things. He may be writing books. He may I saw something I looked at that said he's an ex-felon. So he could have written some books. He could be doing speaking engagements, and I don't know.
Trying to keep people out of jail, because I think he went to jail for something that wasn't his fault. Something.
So we don't know how he made the money that he's making, and some people will try to say that he's making it off the backs of these church people.
Yeah,
and that may not be the case. So
because let's just be honest. I don't know how many churches. I don't know how many members he has. Looking at it from the outside, looking in and looking at the building, inside what we've seen from the robbery and the snatch up, as I call it, the snatch that woman neck up, I would have to say that I really can't tell what it was that was going, what his building looked like, or what whether they're financing him or he's financing himself. I would say this: preaching, pastoring, bishop, whatever the case is a job, it is a vocation, it is a calling, but it does require some financial help sometimes, unless that preacher, pastor, bishop, whatever, has other forms of income. And the problem is, so many people think that it's just these people are living off the church, but he might only got 20, 30 members in there. I don't think he has $1 million worth of jewelry with 50 members. I don't see that. So, and I say all of that to say, I think that we have to give him the benefit of the doubt in that aspect. Can he literally just be money savvy? And if he's savvy with his money, my question would be, why is your membership still impoverished? Why are they still struggling for finances? When you're not? What are you doing to make your money and not empowering your people to make that kind of money.
Well, there's a difference between empowering. If you empower them and they don't catch hold, or they decide that's too much for me, I don't want to do that. I want to keep doing what I do. There's nothing you can do about that.
No, yeah, true
because you can say that about any, pastor, that has any church. If he has a car, if his car is nicer than his parishioners, I guess you could use that word, or church, his memberships cars, but he's not a millionaire. He may just, he may be good with his finances.
Yeah.
So there's a myriad of things, that you could put into that. The bigger, for me, or to me, the biggest question is him flaunting it. Just overall, right? That's what people are talking about in social media. Him flaunting it. Bishop Bling, as someone called him, him flaunting it, and then how does that look in regards to his membership if he's preaching in a poor and supposed socioeconomic disadvantaged area?
But that goes back to what I was saying. At the end of the day, should anybody be flaunting money there? If that's the case, should anybody be flaunting money? Should anybody be?
Well, I asked if that's for me. I said it doesn't. It's not necessary. If you
I'm not
necessary to do.
I'm not saying it's necessary, but I'm saying the people on social media have.
Yeah, because he's a.
It's not that
a preacher.
They're not.
Pastor,
Yeah, exactly. They
that he shouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. But why not?
Right. Because if you get it, are you gonna do it? If you and then my question is, how many of these people that say this stuff are Christians? Even more for those that small amount, I'm sure, that are Christians that say something. What is your issue with it? And are you living like Mother Teresa? Because that's the thing. You don't want the preacher pastor to do it, but how are you living? You want to hold them to a higher standard than you're held. Now, I'm not saying that they shouldn't hold themselves to a higher standard, because God does expect more from the teachers and from the preachers than he may from those lay people, people who are not in ministry like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But why do I have to live impoverished in order for you to feel better about yourself?
So I gotta struggle.
I don't want you to struggle. I don't want you to live impoverished. If you are a believer, God desires for you, to have more. He said he created you to have a future and a hope. Jesus came and died for you to have abundance and all that stuff. So how come we can't all just
have abundance
together?
I don't think that you should.
And why do I have to go ahead? Sorry.
No. I don't think that. I don't think that he wants the pastor or preacher to have more or less. I think it's just, like we said before, it's a management thing. It's like I tell people all the time, we all got the same 24 hours in a day. And if you choose to live your life or spend your day diddle-daddling, or as old people would say, or doing things that are unproductive, then that's on you. If he decides, I'm going to write a book, people buy it, or I'm going to take... So here's the thing, because I don't know what his wife does. His wife can be a multi-millionaire. His wife can be a doctor. His wife can be whatever. And the money that he does give... Because here's the thing. If a pastor gets a check, say a pastor gets $500 a week, right? So if he got a check every week for $500, but his wife is, say, a doctor, a lawyer, or something, and makes enough money to take care of everything in the house, she might say to him, hey, let's take that money you make, let it pool in together, build it up, and go buy some rental property. Go buy, invest in stocks and trades, and as these young people are doing today, making a nice little chunk of change, let's involve ourselves in Bitcoin and all these other things. And they do it and it pays off for them, then what did they do was wrong to gain this wealth? It wasn't that they got it off the members of the church. Although, as a preacher pastor, you want him to be available 24/7. You want him to be there when your sons go to jail, somebody that died, all these other things. But you have not come to terms with he still has a wife, family, and to be responsible for. And the Bible says if you can't take care of your own house, how you going to take care of mine? So he's taking care of his house by making sure his finances are straight. You see what I'm saying? So we have to stop putting things on people that we don't want to put on ourselves. Don't be on social media. What kind of preacher is he? What kind of bishop is he? What kind of man of God is he? Got all this stuff. Well, who said? Why can't he have it? It ain't my cup of tea. Because I don't believe you should spend your money on all that unnecessary jewelry and all that stuff and buying cars that depreciate value. If it can't make me no money, I don't want to know it. That's just me. But for him, he has every right to do what he chooses to do with his money. And should not be ridiculed and mistreated behind it. But again, I think the putting your hands on the woman situation is another YouTube guy we looked at. He made the comment he didn't have the energy when it came in and robbed him, so why he got the energy there? So I agree. You know, but I'm a little thundercat. You know, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You know, I think I might snap off either way. But I wouldn't have touched no woman like that. I don't believe in putting my hands on a woman, especially if it's not in defense of your life or whatever the case may be. Yeah, so that's just me. So
I don't know. I mean, I think there's going to always be an ongoing debate about whether people in his, I was going to say situation, but people of his caliber, and what I mean by that, I mean, you know, pastors, preachers, should have wealth at all. Like they should just be, I don't know why, I don't know what the thing is about that. I also don't think this is probably the last time you're going to hear about him.
No,
you're probably going to continue to hear about him. It's going to be interesting to see how this latest development turns out. And again, I was not saying that they did not actually get robbed. I'm sure that is a very harrowing and scary experience. But there are people who are saying that it was staged. Furthermore, overall, some people should probably just mind their business.
And there's that.
And then there's that. And as Americans, especially as Americans, we don't know how to do that. We feel like some of us feel like, you know, everything is our business. And I'm not saying right, because I watch the news. I watch the, you know, whatever, you know, little things or whatever, but it's some stuff in my opinion, I feel like just mind your business. If it's not taken away from you, you didn't get robbed, they not robbing you, mind your business. You not paying tithes to the man.
Nope. And
again, who said that the money he got came from the church? Because it more than likely didn't.
No.
Because people don't understand that either. These pastors that I hear, I promise you, them tithes are not paying that. If they had to live off them tithes, they'd be in a homeless shelter.
Yep. They were sure.
And y'all don't want to face that truth either. But you know, that's another story for another time. So yeah.
Yeah. So this is our first episode.
What? What am I saying?
Whatever else you want to say.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share if you feel like, you know, this is a banter that someone else might appreciate. Leave some comments below, but be respectful.
Please leave some comments.
Leave comments, but please be respectful. Be respectful to us, number one, and be respectful to other commenters if you do leave a comment. And if you feel the need to leave a comment that is not very respectful, just go hold and we're going to let you know it's going to be deleted. We're going to go ahead and delete it. But, you know, what do you think?
We're not going to argue with you.
Oh, no, we're not going to argue.
I'll argue with you. I don't get paid for that.
No. Not enough time in the day to argue with people who, you know, that don't know how to express their opinion without being disrespectful and rude. So, yeah, go ahead, leave comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We are going to continue to do episodes. They'll get better over time. Yeah, we'll have guests and all those good things. So,
we might even switch locations. I'm thinking of going into
still, you know that.
I didn't say front of what. I'm saying front.
Let me know that.
I'm just saying.
That's what?
Yeah.
You know what? See, this is why. But anyway, so as always, be blessed, be in peace, and as you go out through your day and you're doing things and you see things that other people are doing, let it make sense.
We hit the streets, and I work on this one before. So that we can put up.
TD Jackson, y'all ain't paying me that much.